Good morning, traders. Today is Thursday. I almost said Wednesday, May 29th. It's 9:09 on the East Coast. This is Joseph, your host here with Smart Money Traders. And thank you so much for being here. Just know this is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contracts or foreign exchange contracts. Trading is risky. Make sure you know what you're doing and well capitalized. So with that said, we're going to dive into analysis. We're going to look at the the S&P futures first. We're looking at a bullish market. To me, this is a retracement. We're going lower here. From the open yesterday, we shot higher. Nvidia earnings were better than expected. And also, we have the court saying the tariffs are illegal. The majority of them are illegal. So the market's like that, it looks like. So today we're gonna see if we can buy the market. This is ES. Let's look at some other markets while we're here. Let's look at NQ. NQ is probably gonna be the same situation here. NQ it's in a big fair value gap here, poised to go to the upside. Poised to go to the upside. If we look at where we are as far as the Fibonacci level here, we right at the 38.2. I think we may come back down a little more and fetch some more buyers down here. Maybe 550. They may go down to another 100 points down and then go higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that with because they have to adjust the overnight inventory here, because some people that was short over here or that sold, the market makers, they gotta get themselves back, make themselves hold here. So seeing this pullback here is definitely normal. We're gonna let the market settle and from there and go and make a decision as far as where we want to trade today. I think definitely bullish. The bullish side is the side that we would like to stay on if possible. Another market that we trade is YM. All the indices probably gonna look the same. Now the YM is definitely looking weaker. It's already going down almost past this breakout level. So that's something to keep an eye on. YM is looking weaker here as far as the other compared to the other two. So if you trade the Russell, which can be okay too, can be okay to trade. Again, we have support levels. So let's see how the market opens here, because a lot of movement happened overnight to the upside, and right about the time Europe opens, we start to sell off. So sometimes the overnight inventory adjustment happens during the first hour or so of the U.S. market, but also it happens during the Europe, when Europe opened at 2 o'clock. So that's what happened here. That thing started to go lower, and what they did here, they did a stop run. They did a stop run. They went higher, and I can guarantee you, if I put a MACD on here, you're gonna see this was like a divergence. That's one of the reasons I use those indicators. If ever, you're probably not gonna see much of them in here as far as the traditional indicators, because they're really lagging. But one reason you could use them for like looking at divergence. Look at this. We went higher here, so we can probably keep the MACD here. We went higher, and the MACD is going lower. So by the time we get to here, MACD is, even though we made a new high, but the MACD, the difference, between the signal line and the MACD line is going lower. So we could see this was a stop run. And also being the time is important too, because that closes at 1:30. So half an hour before Europe opens at 2 a.m. So when this closes at 2, and this is what we get. So still kind of bullish to see if if as long as we don't take out this low here on RTY or any of the overnight low, I think we're still gonna be bullish on this here, but it's just a matter of waiting to see how things go. So let's look at LE, which is live cattle. Um, Live cattle on Monday, so Tuesday actually, we had a big sell off. I took a little piece of that action to the downside. But it turns out yesterday I found out that the reason why we sold off, there was like basically some news that came out, but the news really doesn't seem to be real about school worm. That's something that that's showing that that's kind of worrisome for the cattlemen. So, and I think I heard something yesterday where they're going to create some kind of defense against it to kind of push them south toward Mexico. But again, pretty classic here. We break this. When you look at this, almost like a double top. If you look at the classic pattern here, we went a higher to get and do some buying. We break the neckline. If you consider this the neckline, they break that. That was support. It's like a head and shoulder almost. Almost. Not really, but more like a double top. So here was support. This is resistance here. And cattle doesn't open until 9:30. And they close at 2:05 p.m. Eastern time. All those hours I'm saying are Eastern time. So right now, I think we're gonna favor maybe the short. Let's see if we can go back into this fair value gap. As long as we don't close above it, I think we're probably gonna favor the short here, and maybe they'll tap the support zone right here, this fair value gap, which they never closed below it. So they penetrated it, but they never closed below it. And that was the recovery from 2 days ago on Tuesday. There was a nice recovery here on cattle, but they never actually came back up to where it was before that. So another thing we're going to be taking a look at is feeder cattle that trades basically the same as cattle. Feeder cattle, the difference is live cattle is it's ready to be slaughtered, and feeder cattle they're just still being fattened. They're still being they're trying to get them ready to become like a full blown cattle. So it's the same thing. So it's a little more volatile than live cattle, than the LE. But same thing happened with them. Kind of sold off really hard. And right now it looks like we're pointing lower. So maybe what we could do here, if we can see a move up to here again, and if we get rejected, we're gonna go lower toward those lows from Tuesday. Now, seasonally, cattle right now, it's when price is starting to go higher because we have the grilling season. And so that's why we have to wait and see how the market opens. And typically, both cattle and the equities, we don't take a position until at least 5 minutes after. So we want to give it at least 5 minutes to settle and see how things are going. Because when the market just opened, it's trying to find its bearing. It's like a plane taking off. They want to go west, but they really need to, because of the wind and the conditions, they had to go east first, and then so they can find the bearing, find the direction. So the same way with the market. So we gotta take a look. So in the chat, if you have any things else you want me to take a look at, I'm willing to do that. Gold is another thing that sometimes, keep an eye on gold and see how things are going. The correlation with gold in the market is not what it used to be. It used to be like, oh, gold is going higher, market's going down. Nowadays, it's like they usually they go like the same direction sometimes, a lot of the times actually. So um, that's and good morning, Gus. Thank you for being here. So right now, gold is at a resistance. So I think we may come get a pullback, and so it's a nice little push from this fair value gap. So with that said, if there's no questions, we're just gonna wait 10 minutes here for the market to open, and look at how things go. Again, equities bullish on them. Obviously, right now they're experiencing a pullback, and ES is definitely showing like we're bouncing off this resistance level. That was resistance at one point. Now it's becoming support. So at the open, I would expect them to go back down again and fetch some people short and go higher. Let me mark this here. I think that we might see this on ES. Same thing with YM. I think YM is bouncing right now at this fair value gap because, like I said, YM was showing the most weakness out of the three that I looked at earlier. So this fair value gap, it definitely looks like I might find the support here. But again, we're not going to jump the gun. We're going to go and look at, I think we did look at NQ as well. If I'm not mistaken, let me go to NQ right here. And Q's showing the most strength out of the three as far as percentage retracement, because they only had the 38.2. And let's put a fib on ES. Let's put a fib on ES real quick. From the bottom here to the top here, ES is already at the 50% retracement. YM. It's probably at 78.6, probably. What's it? Let's see. Yeah, 76.8 or 0.40. This one says 0.40, but I think it's 0.8. Regardless, as you can see, this is a deeper retracement here on this, and I think RTY is the same. RTY was kind of a deep retracement as well. So I only put the MACD. I'm not sure if you were here, guys. I was talking about how I only use those traditional indicators, MACD, RSI, or any oscillators really to look at divergence. And this was happening here about 2 a.m. this morning. We had a nice little divergence here. Market making no high, MACD is making a new low. So I think we're pushing low. We were pushing low overnight. That's an overnight inventory that started about 2 a.m. when the European market opened. So with that said, I think we set here for this market to open, and we're looking at both cattle, LE and GF, which is LE is live cattle. We're looking maybe we're gonna go lower here today. So we're gonna look to sell. We may get a pullback to this fair value gap again and tap this and go lower. Or if we break this fair value gap above 208.97 or above 209, we may go higher. Because the sell-off again on Tuesday was based on some kind of fake news, as the guy called it. And I think I put the channel in the chat yesterday that talks about, this channel talks about, on a regular basis, they talk about cattle. And GF, same thing. We're looking to see if we can sell this, if we can go back in here and go back down. So we're looking to sell GF as well. So with that said here, we got market bouncing higher, ES. I'm going to move this out the way. I'm going to keep this where I can see it. Let's see. Now, for the the 6 charts we have here, top right is a structure chart for the 3 minute, and 30 minute to the bottom right. We got the Unirenko here, which is the right line system. Again, systems I use them as a framework, but ultimately, us the trader, what the most important part of the whole thing. So you gotta have the right mindset to approach a market to know, hey, we're gonna have losers. You're gonna have, as long as you follow your plan. That's the most important thing. There's always gonna be another trade, and when you follow your plan, that doesn't mean automatically it's gonna be a winner. And if it's a loser, that's part of the deal. So be able to accept those losers, accept the outcome before it even happen. If you cannot accept it, just don't trade. If you're in doubt, don't really trade, because the outcome. A lot of times we look at the system as, oh, you know what, this system has a 90% win rate. Okay, but still 10% can be losers too, and you don't know which order they're gonna come in. 60% rate system, yeah, that means 40% of them are gonna lose it, and you don't know which there's a random combination of those losers and winners. So okay, we're seeing a pullback here on ES. YM at the bottom here, the Unirenko. We got the Raptor system, which the system I've been using it for over 10 years now. It's a pretty reliable system. Again, systems need to be taken into context. So, if I get a sell signal out of support, I probably should pass on that. If I get a buy signal out of resistance, I should probably pass on that. So you gotta know, hey, when to pass on certain things, So right now we're at the support level. We are at the support level right now. So we may definitely see a little push up here. We got 3 more minutes. It's 9:27. So we got 3 more minutes here before the open. So any questions again? Please don't hesitate to ask in the chat. Let me know what you guys are doing and how things are going for you out there. So today, usually we start by trading cattle and see how things, give the market, give the ES and YM a little more time to settle. And because the first hour, really, when you look at the ES and the equities, you want the initial balance to be established, which is the range between 9:30 and 10:30. So once you have the initial balance established, right, you have a better framework to go, to work from, because that way, hey, if they're at the top of the initial balance at 10:30, there's a good possibility they may fade. You at least see a little sell off from there, and at the bottom of the initial balance at 10:30, they may be buying it from there, at least temporarily, And when they break it, a lot of times those break of the initial balance, the first attempt to break it, is usually a fake out. Usually, just gotta gauge to see what's happening here. Yeah. So like we said, here we're at support. So this little lift off here is definitely possible. I think we're going to visit 6,000 again here on ES. That's it's almost there's nothing that's guaranteed, but it's definitely possible here. Let me look at The 20. Got about a minute. So I'm going to look at Trading View and kind of see what the major stocks are doing pre-market. Pre-market, we got Apple up a little bit. I mean, we should expect all those stocks to be up a little bit. Pre-market, Amazon's up. Broadcom, so market just opened 9:30. So we're gonna see Bitcoin is up. So we're gonna see a little green here. There you go, all those greens. Nvidia, this is probably gonna lead the market higher today. But again, we just gotta be mindful of the pullback here before we do anything. So now we gap higher on LE, on GF, probably the same thing. Let's see here. Let's go early. We gap higher. So, and then we're selling. We went higher first. Now we're selling on LE, on GF. LE, sorry. All right, let's see. So what we would like to see on LE is a close of the gap and maybe trying to buy it from there. Because we did say above 209 here. Above 209. We're probably going to favor the long, but it looks like they want to go long at the moment. Not sure if they're going to close the gap. It's only 1 minute into trading, so we're going to wait and see what happens. So, looking at ES right now. Again, people are taking the profit at the beginning here. I think we're gonna, if we get a return here on YM here, we probably. That's why we don't just jump in this market. You gotta wait and let it settle. At least there's congestion up there. I think we may come back down to 207, 208, 17 and a half. That would be a good place to try to go long again here, to go long on LE. But we may get a breakout here, or we may just go down from there. So I think right now, looking like, let me see. Just trying to find my financial juice here. Oh, I think there's some news that came out about the GDP quarter over quarter. Looks like it looks like it's better than expected. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little better than expected. See, this is this bottom here, and I think above 215 on anything above 215 here, we might buy on let's see. Okay, where's Where's my oh, I don't see the account I want to trade on here. There you go. No, not LE. I'm looking at LE right now. We would need to pull back to trade LE. It's going higher. But here, I think if we break this range on a YM, we may be going long here. Okay, why this is telling me that? Alright, we're gonna see if we can go long here at 42,201. And the stop will be below here. I'm not sure why it's telling me I only can trade one contract, but it's okay. I think right now we're gonna see if we can even go to this pivot up there. 100 points from here is definitely possible. This is YM. I'm trading one contract. We're gonna move our stop aggressively here to not break even yet, but we definitely reduce our risk. Maybe give it like 13 ticks, or even maybe 20 ticks at 81. All right, we're gonna move it to 81. If we get a no high here, we're gonna move to break even. Probably gonna do that sooner than later here, because we can't let this turn into, especially our first trade. We want it to be a nice, positive trade here, and let's act and protect our capital here. I'm keeping an eye on LE. LE's pushing higher. So right now it looks like we're trying to sell here. We may get taken out here, because this market is still trying to settle. But if we can push higher here, that would be great. Ultimately, I think this could go. This definitely could break. If we can break this pivot up here at 325, I think we can go to VWAP. I think we can definitely go to VWAP here. But we're far from that. They're selling right now, so could it be trying to trap some people short? But we're in long, break even. I'll just wait and see how things go here. We're gonna give this as far as target. We're gonna go to VWAP here. I think we can get to 485, 500. They're still selling. I hear the order flow is coming both bearish right now, but it's still holding up. So let's see. This might be a break-even trade to start the day here. Okay, we got stopped out break-even. All right, we may try it again. And see what happened here. Looks like we I'm not sure why this is saying that, but let's see. As we can see here, LE kind of left without us, and we're not gonna chase that. All right, we're gonna buy at 23 here. Gonna have a limit order to go long. I think what we did here, we took out the low here on YM. If you look at the bottom right, here we got fill here. Let's see if we can. Honestly, if we go back and take the swing out, we may not want to be in the straight anymore, which is about 30 ticks at 93. So right now we're at 60 tick stop, but at 93 here we don't want to. Yeah, we're gonna probably drop our stuff at 93 here in a second. As soon as we hear we see the buying coming in. Yeah, we're up 20 ticks. Once again, we're looking to go shoot really higher here. I don't think it's time to move our stuff to break even yet. I think still trying to. Some selling going on right now though. No high here, we're gonna move to break even. As a matter of fact, a negative bar here, I think I go to break even. I'll move my stop down here at 11. Give it only 12 ticks to figure it out. I think that's what we're doing here. Or is it too premature? Because sometimes you have to give the market time to move, you know. Yeah. I don't think, yeah. We're getting back higher here. Let's see. Oh. Yes, is my YM one time? Okay, yeah, one time with YM. All right. I think right now, if we get to 45, then I feel better to move my stuff to break even. But we're kind of ranging down here, so maybe 3. Below the swing, like we had at 93. I'm just gonna leave at 93, which is 30 ticks away, $150 risk, and we're looking to get a nice risk reward here if we get to the VWAP up there. Will it get to there? Don't know yet. It's too early. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get. We might get taken out here. Selling's happening here. Looks like they might tag us out here. Yeah, we got tagged out. So we're looking to get about 250 ticks. So feel like we still primed to go higher, but at the moment they don't want to do that yet. They are selling 59.53 holding. Somebody said something about. Okay, yeah, you short from 50. Yeah. Ellie here is giving us a little pullback, so hopefully, I still believe here we may be going. I think my ES is a little bit of delay, and let's look at GF. GF, same thing. We're looking like to go higher here. So let's see attempt to close the gap on GF, which is Peter Cattle. Same thing with okay, we're going lower here on LE. Let's see. I think we might, because we only really did half of our risk on here. We may try to go back long here at 4202. Well, they're still selling, so gonna wait. All right, let's buy some limit here. So if we can come back to the figure at 99. $199 to go along on YM here. Okay, looks like we might miss the train here. Unless we get a pullback here. Our stop will be below this low, and if this were to happen, stop would be at 69. 30 more ticks. Again, which is kind of halfway. I think my ES is definitely much. It's lagging right now. I'm not even gonna try to refresh it. I'm just gonna keep this. Well, we got the 69 here. Will be our stop. Well, if this fails, we're gonna take a break here. Yeah. All right. So meaning our premise here to go along at those lows here, it's not working at the moment. So because of that, it looks like it wants to go higher. Not sure why it's telling me. Should be able to trade more than one contract in here. Look at what just happened on YM right now. Alright, we're just gonna leave YM alone for a moment here. Look at this. This thing tagged me out by 3 ticks. By 2 ticks. It tagged me out by 3 ticks. Look at all the buying. Market sometimes can be ruthless. Now the buyers want to step in. Since already lost, we down 2 trades here on just the timing is everything, right? Especially in trading. Well, hopefully you guys, I don't know if you guys took that YM trade and you had a little bigger stop than I did, but things are moving the way we thought it would be. Now YM for us to engage here, we need to pull back. If we we probably need to pull back toward and come back to 213. Yeah, ES is. Yeah, that's what they did here now. Look at the ADD here, the advanced decline. It's going higher, so it's a good sign for a long here. Well, got taken out, got played around here. All right, Steve, have a good one. So we're careful here with we long at 42 half, 209, 42 half. Oh, and Ellie. That's trading, That's the reality of trading. You can be right and not make money, but just a matter of timing. So my timing was off, and that's what's happening here. So, and I can't be chasing this anymore. Look at look at that. Let's look at Ellie here on the 30 minutes. Um, Looks like we're approaching this resistance here. If we break this, we're definitely gonna go much higher. All right. Hopefully you guys are long. The indices here. Oh, probably put it at honestly, if we make a new high here for up like 5, 6 ticks, maybe 6 or 7 ticks, I'll move to break even because at the moment we had a resistance if it's gonna break it. Now we're seeing some selling on YM here. That could be the pullback we want, or was this the pullback to go lower? Advanced decline is going down aggressively here. Yeah, maybe go and make a new low here. Let's look at the 30 minute on the YM. Yeah, going lower again here. If we break 55 on LE here, we're going to break even. Here we're only risking, let's see, 20. So we're risking about 8 ticks on here. So which is $80. So let's see how this goes. The LE entry definitely is not ideal. But let's see how it goes. 32.5, 35 probably was a better entry, but obviously kind of jump on this a little late in the game here. Let's see if we can go higher here. We're at the value area high and at the POC also for LE, so I think the equity is here. There's some more selling going on. Hopefully my ES will catch up. I think it's catching up a little bit, so which is good. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's any 10 o'clock news. Let me double check here. I don't think there's any 10 o'clock news. Well, it is going back higher, so meaning equities here should be turning around to the upside. Yeah, can definitely hear the buying here. No 10 o'clock news. We may try YM again if we get the opportunity, but right now we're just gonna let this pending home sales. Oh, okay. I don't see. Yeah, it's probably not because I only for my on Forex Factory I only have like the red. Maybe it's not like a very yes orange. Yeah, I only have the red items. I only have the red items here on Forex Factory. So because these are the one that's gonna give you the most movement here. If we don't get taken out in LE, there's a chance we may have a nice little breakout to the upside here. I'm not a breakout trader. I don't trade the breakout. But if we get one, we'll take it. You know, we'll definitely if we can go above 209.55 here, we'll be in good shape. Yeah, buying the market's still going higher here. They're buying it. Fortunate we got taken out that second time. The first time, yeah, was premature. I think the first time was a break even. A couple. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's only went down 300 and change. Let's see how things go here with the LE trade. I'm gonna step away for one quick second. Okay, Ellie has breaking out a little bit here. We should expect a little bit of fight going on here. So we're not gonna move our stop to break even right away. Maybe above this band here at 72.75. And I think that was a pretty significant level to yesterday in LE. If you guys remember, right on 75.70 right here. There was a lot of fight. I think I went short the first time and I got a break even. I went long here somewhere and I got break even on LE. you guys remember. So not too quick to move the stop here. We're only wasting 8 ticks. So let's give it the room that it needs here to do its thing. Now where can we go today? The last 10 days, 60. Let's call it about 60 ticks range. So far we're already at 50. So we'll get the extended range and get to the next support resistance level here. Yeah, we may. When you look at this here, you may like in hindsight. Yeah, definitely early was the. Looks like they attempted to go close the gap, but they couldn't. So fully here we get. Let's say we get a measured move, on early, which from here to here, this is the measured move. So where my target is definitely not a bad place, 210. It's not a bad spot right there. We may get a measured move here. If we get there, it'll be, this is 6. It'll be 28 ticks. So which virtually would put me back at break even for the day. So let's see how this goes. We're not gonna. Get the composure back, and it's part of trading. Sometimes you're gonna have a couple losers, and it could be frustrating because when you look at now it's going lower, but when I did my entry, couple entries here, one was break even. Actually, I did 3 entries. One break even. That was a break even at 201. Yeah, when I got in at 201, break even. Got back in again. Got tagged out. Now they're going lower, so kind of when you look at it in hindsight, it's a big mess here. So let's see what L is gonna give us. L is pushing higher, so right now I feel comfortable. Maybe probably put myself to break even here. So they're selling. Market's still going lower here. So they may come back and tag us out here. And if they do, market is relentless. The selling is getting relentless here in the market. Market is definitely selling relentless here. You would think everything else would be fundamentally things lined up, but something is not right with them. So all the institutions here, all those, it looks like they were buying, but everything is green here, but we're going lower. Well, that could be a break-even trade here with the LE. If that's the case, we're gonna wait for 10:30. We're gonna wait for 10. Yeah, we got stopped out here in LE here. I think we're still bullish on LE though. Let's look at GF, how GF is doing. GF is up there. Yeah. LE going lower here. Maybe we can tap the VWAP here at 15. Let me check something real quick here. Yeah. We're still trying to retrace here. Alright, I think my ES is catching up a little bit. So 136 on YM here. So we got 4 trades in, 2 week evens, and 2 losses. Really like halfway of the regular losses, especially for usually like a 60 tick. The market is so volatile now, 60 tick on EYM, but it's really two partial losses, make it one full loss. But hey, we're gonna call it 2 losses. So. All right. Zelly is going to push back higher here. Night. On LE2 or 892, half is the value area low. So that's something, they may come back down here and tag this and go higher. I think there's a possibility here. Let's see how he reacts when he gets there. Yeah, pushing lower. Let's look at NQ on the bottom right here. Yeah, we're pushing lower. Market's trading at 59, 59.14, 59.13 on ES. That's I think we're catching up a little bit here. It's still 2 minutes behind, a minute, 1.3 minutes behind on ES. Just gonna let it catch up. All right. Okay. Well, we're also going higher here now. Let's see. Also here with LE, I feel like we're at a resistance here and we can push lower. Possibly here. Let's see, 10 range. I'll put this on a 10 range chart so I can see better. Yeah. We're getting high. We're getting, probably gonna do a cheap one here. Maybe Okay, LE going higher. All right, so look at YM here still. Where's my trading view? Well, let's see. Yeah, we're pushing higher here, both LE and is this the bounce to the upside here on YM? It's 1016. So we said we're gonna wait for 1030, probably to attack to trade the indices here and see where we're gonna be at when it comes in reference to the initial balance. So I think we're gonna do that. Now here they come back and tag us out. It's fine. 56 range today. So we kind of really at the top of the range here, for approaching the top of the average daily range for live cattle. Not so much with same thing really with feeder cattle. So when they're playing like this in that same area they sold off yesterday, you may say, no, I'm not trying to predict the market, but seeing it push down from here wouldn't be anything out of ordinary on LE. So looking to short it here about 55, 57 and a half. Maybe an option here. So let's wait and see. It's getting extended here. It's 57 and a half. Our stop would be at 82 and a half, which is 10 ticks. When you think about it, it's not being aggressive here. You could probably even go market order here and go short, because it's getting to that extended status here. 87 and a half is the swing right here. So let me move back enough. I think we're gonna go short here on LE. Let's see how things go here. Let's see. $67.5. Again, this is a more like a risky trade, because we're kind of going counter trend here. It would be from the high, above the high from yesterday. Yesterday's high at 85. Let me see. Yesterday high is at 85, 87 and a half. They may go there though. They may go there and see. Not too sure at the moment. So because of that, we're gonna stay put here. Gonna wait for another 10 minutes here for the equities. Again, we're seeing some selling here now. As the decline is going lower, so let's wait and see. They're still selling the equities here. Still selling ES. Let me see. My ES is back. Okay, my ES is back, and I can look at it over here. Then some buying happening here on the equities. There you go. See the push on LE. Yeah, so you don't step in front of something like a train like this. That's unfortunate. We got taken out here at break even on LE, but that's part of trading the market. So we did see some buying coming in here for ES, but it looks like it's not nothing's happening here as far as clear direction. We just gotta wait here. For LE, we're above that 10-day range, approaching basically the 5-day range. We're right there. So could we see some selling here? Possible. I think ES is primed to go higher. But before they do that, in the meanwhile, they're doing the dance right here. Let's see where we are here on the Raptor. Yeah, kind of. $10.23. Yeah, market's about to lift up here. Looks like 178 on YM could be a buy here. Stop below at 43. Because we're close enough to the initial balance where we're like in the lower part of it, things here. My typical stop on the ES is 5 points. So which would be put me below here about 875 if we go long here at ES. I think we may try to attempt a long here on YM. Okay, we're long YM. Again, because we are down for the day, we're going to be a little more quicker to move our stop to break even. Right now, we could definitely put it to break even. I think we got in at 80. So we got break even here at 80. So we're looking for 100 and 120 ticks at the moment. Can we get to 300? I think we can. Because we're close enough. So here at 13 and 3/4 here would be at ES would be higher here. So let's wait and see how things go here. All right. Could I guess the fifth time the charm. Yeah, on so we're seeing we're still seeing the buying happening here. So that's a good sign. When we get to 60 ticks, we're gonna lock in 20 ticks. Because again, we're not looking for like just a few ticks. We just want to give this market, especially with this volatile market, you want to give it room to move. You may say, hey, why don't you move your stop closer? Yes, you can, but if you come back down here, especially the round number at 200, they may come back again and test it again. So let's put the 30 minutes here on YM and see what we're doing. So up about 43 ticks. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So the buyers are still in charge at the moment, it looks like. So we're just gonna let it go here. Now we're seeing a pullback on YM. If we get a pullback and a U-turn and make a new high, then we'll move our stop back down to to the swing. It's 10:29. We should expect some movement here in the next next 20 seconds. Now here they may consider me. It's almost like a with this where market is going here. If you don't catch the lows, you may always get taken back out here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, we'll be ready for that. Okay, it's 10:30. So we know for the YM, the next, let me see, we have 295 as the top of the initial balance and 116 as the bottom. So we're kind of really like halfway of the initial balance right now. So we'll gravitate toward the top. So we might, let me put a fib here so we can have a better idea here. Alright, Ninja, please don't tell me you're gonna be freezing here. This is not the time. Alright, so yeah, we're kind of halfway. We passed halfway the initial balance. So we may gravitate toward the top here. And honestly, based on the fundamentals and everything else happening. So I think what they did here, I didn't think they were gonna do that. I mean, again, we don't know with this market. They came back down and take out the overnight low. Get some people short. Now they're moving it higher. I think the rest of the day here we may see a bullish market. Now we're gonna be patient with this trade. Again, this trade there's a lot of room to the upside. If we're moving higher here, I think I might move my till I get to the next resistance here, 444. But we'll capture some points here. We're not gonna let this completely. Hopefully they don't take out the swing. If they don't take out the swing, we will. 200 is just a magnet number. You don't want to move just up to 200 right now at the moment. 198 is, based on this trailing, 198 would be the place to move or stop, but again, it's too close to 200, so we're gonna it'd be unfortunate if we get taken out here, but if we do, it is what it is. See, they come back and pull up those areas like that. Yeah. I think here that might call stop out here will call for me to stop trading. Obviously I'm not in the best frame of mind here. Yeah. I think that's it for me, guys. This market is not deciding which way it wants to go. Got 3 break-even trades, 2 losses, so I think we'll keep it that way here. So hopefully you guys did better than I did today. Again, I didn't do terrible. It's only down $300, but it's definitely not. This environment right now is not conducive to good trading, and when that does happen, you step away at least for a moment, So, anybody else? If you have any questions, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off YouTube. YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think starting in June, I'll be streaming on YouTube just 2 days, Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays and Fridays. So these are the 2 days I'll be streaming on YouTube. So with that said, have a good one. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.